Well, we're hearing the Punisher is going to get a quote major upgrade in Spider-Man Brand New Day, and this has people speculating exactly what that means. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about the possibilities of the Punisher in this upcoming film, what this major upgrade could look like, and whether we could see him actually suit up with an iconic look. Well, this week's news has been all about Spider-Man Brand New Day. We've been getting all kinds of really cool set pictures and confirmations for the upcoming film. And one of the major questions that's pulled out of all of this is how Frank Castle fits into this movie. Now, we know Spider-Man and the Hulk, along with the Punisher, are likely to be at odds with each other, and this absolutely begs the question on how Frank Castle's possibly going to hold his own against the likes of Spider-Man and the Hulk. There are some distinct possibilities, and with the recent set pictures showcasing some armor personnel carriers, well, many people have wondered if Frank Castle actually has his own APC or tank, and that'll be part of this potential upgrade the Punisher is going to need. But there might be something a bit more exciting. Now, before we dive into this though, I want to make this really clear. This comes via My Time to Shine Hello. It's not from Kevin Feige, it's not from a Hollywood trade, so we're going to take it with a grain of salt. Additionally, My Time to Shine is an anonymous scooper, and we always like to be extra careful with them because there's really no accountability. Now, My Time to Shine is the one that reported that Frank Castle will indeed get a major upgrade to deal with the Hulk and Spider-Man. And with the Department of Damage Control reportedly set to factor into the upcoming film, well, there's one distinct possibility that should be considered. If you remember correctly, in the last Spider-Man movie, Damage Control was in the business of seizing Stark technology. Happy Hogan was in their crosshairs, and they had actually raided several Stark facilities. At this point, it seems like we could possibly see a very, very iconic look for Frank Castle, and have to ask the question if he will actually don that War Machine armor. Now, in the comic series The Punisher War Machine, which happened way back in 2017, Frank Castle actually took up a suit of Iron Man armor that was typically worn by James Rhodes. Now, this gave him a very unique look that fans absolutely love, and it gave him access to a completely new scale of firepower never before associated with the Punisher. Now, this look is something fans have been requesting for quite a long time, and not something that I ever really saw a possible way to bring to life. But if Frank Castle is indeed being sent to take down the Hulk by Damage Control, or somehow being sponsored by Damage Control, well, this could absolutely happen. And should he take up a suit of basically Iron Man armor tricked out with extra guns and firepower, well, he would indeed be at the power level that he could stand against not only Spider-Man, but maybe even the Hulk himself. Now, this is far from confirmed at this point, and might just be fans wishing really, really hard. But the idea of Frank Castle getting any kind of upgrade that can allow him to stand toe-to-toe with both Spider-Man and the Hulk, well, it's going to have to be a major upgrade. And I'm sorry, an armor personnel carrier or a tank doesn't qualify, because we all know the Hulk would make absolute short work of either one of those. Obviously, we're going to follow this story really, really closely. Honestly, I would love to see Frank Castle get into some War Machine armor, and if it's contained within this one Spider-Man film, aka the armor gets destroyed at the end, well, it doesn't impact the larger story. Fans get the iconic look they've always wanted, and honestly, Frank gets a great big screen debut inside the MCU in a way nobody was expecting. How this works out, well, we're going to have to wait and see. Before we take off, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC news, and we want to bring you all the news truthfully and transparently, so you're really in the know.